what does a parent do to set up screen security? So like, okay, my kid's however many years old, and we decided, okay, it's time for them to have a screen. So we gave the kid an iPhone or Kindle, an iPad or whatever. But the parent's like, okay, before I hand this over, or maybe the kid's already had it for a couple of years and the parent's coming to this realization, I got to lock things down. Like specifically, how does a parent learn to go into settings, general notification, privacy, like what are some tips that you can give parents to be a little bit more tech savvy to catch up to their 11-year-old?
One of the things we actually talk about in the book, Jason, and we do offer some ideas on different avenues that parents would have, like filters, there's accountability software. We have some things in our appendix about specific resources that would be helpful. But primarily, and as helpful as those things are, it's not an either or, so don't hear me saying that. But we really believe that the primary solution for kids for parents with their kids is the problem is technological. The answer is not technological. The answer is really relational. And so whatever you choose to do with filters and with accountability software on your devices, we really want to encourage parents, like it's something you do with your kids. So for instance, when you talk about giving their kids the first device, none of us would hand a kid a pair of keys and to the car and say, have at it. Good luck. Congratulations. You got your first car. None of us would buy our kids a ticket to London and say, have a good trip. London's a great place. We would go with them. We would be sitting right next to them. We would probably drive first for them. The same thing with internet use. Whatever the device is, more than putting filters on it, you sit down with your kid and you begin going through together. So for example, with my kids, when they're very young, before they had their own device, if they're using our device, we'd say, okay, we teach them the difference between being on the computer and being on the internet, because that's not always so easy to discern these days. Yeah. And from there, we'd talk about where it's appropriate to go and how you find. So our very little kids, you're allowed to go where mom and dad have told you you're allowed to go, period. You can't go to sites or places on here without permission. And so they'll come to us and ask us, can I go to such and such? Yes, you can. Can I go here? I don't know what that is. Let's go look at it together. So it's something that we do together. When they get older, we actually began to do what we called fire drills with our kids, pornography fire drills. And so we'd sit down and we'd say, hey, listen, sometime while you're on here, something's going to pop up on the screen and it's going to be pornographic. And what's pornographic? Well, for our sake, since you're little, let's just say it's a naked body in some form. That's just the kid version. It's just you're going to see a picture of naked people. If that happens, here's what you do. And we'd walk them through that. And then we'd practice it. We want to practice it. And you're never going to be in trouble for telling us when that happens, because we want you to tell us. That's part of the process. So those are some of the early conversations we'd have. And we talk about their devices as something that goes along with responsibility. So it's not a matter of this is your device and you can do what you want with it, but this is your device, and just like the car, you'll have more and more freedom with it as you grow in responsibility and as you demonstrate that you know how to use this responsibly and safely.
Yeah. I like the idea of going on the journey with them, that this isn't something like we're just imposing on you. Like we're in the trenches with you on this. We've got to have custody of our own senses. One way that I thought about it just in recent days is, we got back from a vacation and the kids, wanted to look at all the videos on the TV. So we got on my phone, and I pull up screen mirroring for the TV and I click the button. All of a sudden my phone is on the living room television and everybody sits down on the couch and watches it. I think as a parent, you could think of, imagine if screen mirroring is always on. That whether you're, in your room, whether you're away from the house, the screen mirroring is always on and your kids are always sitting in the living room watching dad's cell phone on the big screen TV. If you're okay with that, you're where you should be. If there's a part where I got to kind of turn off screen mirroring for a little bit here because I got kids in the living room, it's like, wait a minute, are we in this together or are we not? Is this something I'm just imposing on my children because, this is adult content? I mean, that whole idea of adult content is so messed up, because it kind of, just the very language of it implies that once you turn a particular age, it becomes appropriate, as if like you can use women after you're 18. You can degrade another human being as long as you're old enough. I mean, I think whoever owns the language wins the argument before it even starts. I mean, pro-choice. I mean, even say that word is to give them a victory. It's like, no, choices are great. I'm pro-choice. I chose what to have for breakfast today. I chose which socks I chose to put on. Like, it isn't about choice. This is about adulthood. And so we've got to, I think reclaim a bit of the ground of not using the language of the world. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.